Hello, my name is Krista Whiting with Parkwood International, and today I'm here to prepare you for that first phone interview to help you get the job that you want. I have over a decade of experience in talent acquisition, and I am ranked in the top 3% of executive recruiters in our global company. This prep is what I use with every candidate before their interview. First, you need to do your research on the company and the interviewer before you speak with them. Know their mission statement, who the C-suite leaders are, and their areas of specialization. When you have your first phone interview, make sure you're in a spot where you're not going to be interrupted or distracted. Also, make sure the area you're in has good reception. Remember this, companies want to hire authentic people who are confident not only in their skills, but will be a good fit for the team. If you humanize your answers and showcase the best parts of your professional self, you will be successful. You are interviewing them for a fit just as much as they are interviewing you. Some interviewers start the conversation with, "Tell me about yourself." I tell my candidates this is an opportunity for a 2-minute commercial, not a 2-hour-long infomercial. So if you were in an elevator and it was your one shot to interest the hiring manager, what would you say? Use the following format for your professional elevator pitch. I have X amount of years related experience in this area. I love this type of role because of this. And the reason I'm so interested in your company is because of this. Time yourself and practice. If it is longer than 2 minutes, people will stop listening to you. So make sure that your answers are direct and to the point. Candidates that ramble are the #1 pet peeve of interviewers. And people who talk too much come across as vague and wanting to dance around a question as opposed to addressing it full-heartedly. So at this stage of the game, do not bring up compensation, bonuses, or benefits. It's a big red flag this early in the process. The first call is for matching competencies with culture. But if they do bring up your salary expectation, confidently state your range. This is so expectations are aligned on both sides and nobody wastes their time. Companies look for candidates with high energy, passion for what you do, knowledge of who they are, and folks that are running to them, not away from something else. They will also assess if you have the ability to grow with the organization. But do me a favor, try to get this job before you talk about getting promoted. It's a big turnoff when you say, "Well, I want your job eventually." Don't do that. There is a difference between being ambitious and winning the Game of Thrones. Questions that often come up in the interview process that you should think about ahead of time. Why are you looking for a job? Why do you want to work for this company? And most importantly, why should they hire you? You have to distinguish yourself from the other candidates that they've been speaking with. Now, you will be asked behavior-based questions, so make sure you're picking a solid example that has had an impact on the business. Weak examples are a deal killer. The STAR method is a structured manner of responding to behavioral-based interview questions by discussing the specific situation, task, action, and result of that situation that you're describing. Use numbers to show progression and a quantifiable metric in your examples. Numbers make sense to everyone, but not vague adjectives like, "My sales quotas are amazing," and "I'm responsible for a huge team in a large territory." Instead, say, "My year-to-year increase in billings hit 95% above my first-year quota," or "I currently have oversight of 85 full-time FTEs, and my territory includes 5 states with 19 separate offices." Remember this. Men lie, women lie, but numbers don't. And make sure you ask good questions on your phone interview. Nothing is worse than a candidate that doesn't have questions, as it just makes the impression of, "Well, I didn't care enough about this role to take the time to do the research so I would know what to ask." Here are some examples of good questions. What do you think are the 3 most important traits or experiences for this person to have in order to be exceptional? Why is the role vacant? What challenges do you think this person will have coming out the gate? At the end of the day, people hire people that they like. If you have all the skills on the job description, but you're not a culture fit, they will pass on you. But if you don't have all the skills, they can teach you those. If you are a culture fit, They just can't teach people to change their personality. It's crucial that you build rapport with the interviewer, as they are the gatekeeper to the next step of the process. Here are some good questions to help you build rapport. What was it about this organization that attracted you to the company? How different is it than other places that you've worked? How do you like the community? The top two things that people like to talk about are themselves and their organization. So asking questions like this allows them to do so, but will also give you valuable insight as well. Make sure you close the interviewer at the end of the conversation, however it is most comfortable, but something along the lines of, based on my background and our conversation, are there any concerns you have that would prevent me from moving forward in the next step? I'm really excited about this opportunity. If they say no, ask, what is the next step and the timing around that? The point of drawing out concerns is simply that if they have them, they won't voice them. And if you hang up, the process is done and you don't have a chance to speak to it. But at least if you draw them out, you have the opportunity to address them. And you can say, well, I'm glad that you mentioned that. Let me see if I can give you some additional clarity. They will also look for the initiative to get those answers as well. Make sure that you ask for their email at the end of the call so you can send them a thank you. Do it the same day. Decisions are made quickly, so it's important that you do it as soon as you can. Email is perfectly acceptable. Nobody does snail mail anymore. So, I hope this video has prepared you to do exceptional in your phone interview. Stay tuned for my follow-up video on how to nail that face-to-face interview. Thank you so much, and I look forward to working with you soon.